Well, hello there. Welcome to our Friday demo. I am so happy you could join me on this Friday before the Super Bowl. I am really excited to see the final football game, NFL football game of the year. It's going to be very cool, or at least this previous year, whatever. But anyway, welcome everyone. I hope you're ready to see a cloud pour. I'm going to try just a pretty straightforward, easy cloud pour using my easy cloud pour formula and see what happens. I'm actually using one of my favorite color schemes. It's a very simple 4-color scheme, and I don't think I've ever done it with a cloud pour, so excited to see what happens with this one, and we will give it a shot. My last cloud pour this previous Wednesday did not go very well using the same formula, so we'll see what happens tonight with this demo. I have higher hopes for this one. So welcome everybody. Lynn is here. Lily has joined us. Carla, awesome. And Monique, of course. Welcome, Monique. All right. I think Donna is over there on Facebook. Fantastic. And of course, Novala is here. Welcome, Novala. Hey, everybody. Welcome. So I hope you had a wonderful week. I hope you are looking forward to a great weekend. If you're not a football fan, then I hope you have other good plans. Everyone else in the world will be watching NFL football. So I'm excited about that. By the way, I'm rooting for the Chiefs, although I really like the Eagles as well. So just to let you know. So anyway, let's get going. Behind me is the demo we did last Friday. It's all dry. It turned out pretty well. I really like it. It was that double cup pour with that one color was in one of the cups, the blue-gray color, and then we had these kind of coppery, orangey, red colors in the other cup, and it turned out pretty well. I think it dried pretty nice. I really like the way it looks, actually. So we're doing a different type of a pour today. It's just the easy cloud pour, like I mentioned, using one of my favorite color schemes, and that color scheme happens to be this color scheme right here, because that is one of my favorite ring pours that I've done. So we're using that color scheme. I'll show you what the colors are in a second. The only difference is we're adding the easy cloud mix will be in replace of the white in that painting. So let's dive in and check it out. So let me flip the camera here. And let's see, there we go. I found the button. So here are our colors. I'm doing a 16 by 20 canvas. Very simple color scheme. So I have 3 Liquitex colors, Liquitex Gold, Liquitex Basics Dioxazine Purple, and this beautiful color, Liquitex Brilliant Blue, one of my favorite blue colors. It's just really, really, it's a bright blue, and it's kind of just on the blue-green side, I would say. It's a really pretty blue color. So those are our 3 colors, and then here is our cloud pour mixture. And I'll tell you what this is quickly. It's 2 parts Floetrol, 1 part of this stuff right here, which is the BEHR Satin Enamel. We need some kind of a satin enamel in there, and this is the one I use, this Ultra Pure White number 7050. So 1 part of that, and then 1 part of Craftsmart acrylic paint. This is just Craftsmart from Michaels. It's pretty much a craft paint, Craftsmart acrylic white. 1 part of that, and then you don't need any water in this formula. Just those 3 ingredients all by themselves create pretty much the perfect consistency, a number 2 consistency. And then I just match all the other colors to that consistency. So it makes it a really easy formula, really easy to match all your other paints to that consistency. And if you're wondering, you could try another white. I really like this white. So if you have a Michaels nearby, I would go check it out. Other whites might work. I haven't tried many other whites because this one works so well. So, but if you try other whites, let me know. So anyway, that is the color palette. That's what we're going to be doing. I've got some black right here. That's just going to be a base coat. I'm going to put on before we pour our cloud mix on top. I have got a big old cup right here, and I've marked it at 10 ounces. And for 16 by 20, 10 ounces is the amount of paint I like to use for straight pours or ring pours. And for flip cups, I use slightly more paint, but that's all available on my canvas coverage cheat sheet, as most of you know and have downloaded. So that is what we're doing. We're going to start layering our cup, put a base coat on, and then we will pour it, tilt it, and see what happens. So let's get going. And I'm excited to see what this particular color palette does with this cloud formula. So I'm going to layer my cup first, and then we'll do our base coat. So I'm going to pull this over here, and I know what order I'm going to put these in. The one thing about this color palette I try to do, I try to separate the gold from the blue. I don't like to put the blue right on top of the gold and vice versa, because the gold and the blue will create a greenish color. So I like to keep them separated as best I can. So I'll usually put the purple in between, or you could put the cloud mixture as well in between. So I'm going to start with just a slight touch of the gold in here first. Just a small amount of gold. And the first cup in will be the first color in, the last color out, but I just want a little bit of gold in there first. Then I'm going to put in our cloud mixture. A decent layer of that. We've got 10 ounces of paint here, so we'll have maybe 2 or 3 layers. Next up, I'm going to put in more gold. The gold can get kind of lost in this color palette, so I like to use more gold in there, especially next to the white. I love the gold and the white mixing together. It gives a beautiful effect. And we have these kind of warm whites and gold. And then we have our dark purple. I'm going to put that in next. And by the way, all of these paints, the gold, purple, and blue, are mixed with 2 parts Floetrol, 1 part paint, and then just enough water to get to the same consistency as the cloud mixture. So that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and add one more layer of our cloud mix, and that will be it for the cloud. And then I'll put some gold in there next, some purple, some blue, and then I'll probably put a little more purple in there. A little bit more. That's going to be close to the end of the purple. And then our gold. And then I'm going to end up with the blue on top, which I don't love, but I'm going to scrape out the rest of my purple here. Just one small layer of purple, just again to separate the blue and the gold. They're going to mix somewhat in the cup and as I pour, but I just try my best to separate them. So you're never going to be 100% successful with that. But and then finally a little more blue, and we are at our 10 ounces. And that is it. I am going to move this over here, this big cup of paint. Just set that to the side. Scooch these over here. And let's put some base coat on our canvas. So I'm just putting the black on here. This is leftover paint I had mixed up previously. And I'm going to be tilting over this entire canvas. I'm not going to leave any negative space. So this will be a tilting, a big tilt job, tilting over everything. And not planning on any negative space. So that's kind of how I normally do these straight pours. Now you can do this as a ring pour or a straight pour, or a combo of both, whatever you'd like. It's almost done here with the black. And just a thin layer of base coat is all we need. And this The base coat is the same mix as the other colors, just 2 parts Floetrol, 1 part just black in this case, and same consistency as the other colors. And we've got it, I think. That looks pretty good. All right, so now I'm going to torch my base coat just to eliminate any air bubbles in the base coat. I tend to do that quite frequently, although sometimes I forget. It's not a huge deal. And there we go. So I'm going to flip the camera again and go over here so you can see better what the paint puddle looks like as I pour it. I'm going to be pouring close to the center right here. As you probably can't see my hand, but it's there. So let's go ahead and get going. So I can pour out of one of two sides of this cup. I can pour out of the side I layered, which is right here. That's the side I layered, or the opposite side. You can pick whichever one you like. I think I'm going to pour out of the layered side. So I'm going to just turn that around, and we'll pour out of that and see what happens. So I'm going to, I'm basically going to pour a straight pour on this one, not a ring pour, although you could if you wanted to, like I mentioned, or you could do a combo of both. So you could add a little twirl and go straight again. It's really up to you. So just a thin stream. And you can vary the height if you want to. And we're lower the cup. You can start to see a little bit of the cloud mix coming out. We have a nice field of gold, which I like. And here's the cloud mixture. Just trying to keep my cup even and my hand from moving too much. My shoulder's achy, so it's kind of difficult. And we're almost at the end. I think I'm going to call that good right there. So I'm going to just tilt back on the cup and grab that last little drop. And there we go. So we've got our cup poured, got our paint puddle. It's looking nice. I like it. I'm going to let that sit for just a minute. That can help just kind of let that cloud mixture do its thing a little. I'm going to flip back over here. And you can kind of see what we've got going on. I really love this area all in here right now. We've got a lot of blue over here. I love the purple next to our gold. So I'm just kind of looking at things and thinking about tilting and how I'm going to tilt this. Now, normally when you have a big paint puddle like this for any of your pours that you're tilting, it could be a flip cup, it could be a floating cup, anything. You have this big paint puddle. Most of this outside, these outside layers from the outside in to maybe a quarter to almost halfway are usually going to get tilted off. So we're really looking at kind of the center out to maybe, 2/3 out of our paint puddle. That's what we're going to try to keep. And you won't really, this will all make more sense as we start tilting. But if you love anything on the outer edges, usually that's going to go bye-bye because it gets tilted off. Unless you've planned specifically for that, for like a negative space pour or something. So, but it's looking good. We've got some cloudy stuff happening. So I'm happy about that. So let's go ahead and get going and start our tilting. So I'm going to just start by expanding my paint puddle. I'm just going to kind of move the paint around, spread it over the canvas without going over the edges yet. So I just want to kind of grow this paint puddle. And you can take your time. You don't have to go fast. So far, so good. Our clouds are coming up, which is nice. So I'm just turning the canvas, getting a better grip. So there we go. We've kind of covered most of our canvas. And now we can kind of take a look at where we want to start tilting first. And I think I'm going to move the paint back over this way. And you can really tilt off of any corner you want first. I've got a lot of paint over here, so I could pour off of this corner first. But I think I'm going to go back over here because I want to kind of see what happens over in this corner because I don't want to lose too much of that. So I'm going to kind of start back over here. And this also will kind of stretch out the paint a little bit more. Our clouds will have time to kind of grow and develop. So we've got a lot of pretty clouds right in this area. So I'll try to save most of them. We did, I think. And let's go down to this corner next. And just let the paint kind of move down there on its own. You can change the angle of your canvas slowly. You can use your fingers to kind of pull the paint over the very tip of that corner. It's looking good. So I'm going to go over here next. And as you can see, all this outer stuff is getting tilted off. So kind of that, what I mentioned before, but those outer maybe 2/3 are what you're going to actually end up keeping. Now this one I'm going to have to make a decision. Do I want to try to keep that blue in there? I think I'm going to tilt it off. Yeah, it's looking good so far. And final corner. So I'm just slowly letting that paint work its way down there. And this will be a blue corner, which is great. So we'll have some nice variety in our corners. There we go, and then tilt backwards. And so there you go. We've covered the canvas. That is phase 2 of the tilting process completed. Now we'll just take a look at it and see if there's anything else we want to do. Any kind of, minor tilting or anything we want to kind of modify or change. So I'm going to just take a look at it here. The clouds are developing really, really nicely, which I like. And so I'll point out a few things. I really like this corner, this blue corner. I love these really defined, really tight rings. I love down here, all the clouds, of course, those are beautiful. This whole area I really like, the purple corner. And then over here, this corner is also nice, but I'm thinking I'm going to tilt some of this off. We have our center right in the center of the canvas. And normally I don't like to have our center of interest, which is this whole area right in the middle. You want to move that somewhere out of the middle, somewhere maybe a third in or a third in on any side. And it's right kind of in the center there. So I don't love that. So what I'm going to do is probably tilt off some of this to move this over here. Maybe make this a white corner. So we'll have different corners. We'll have a purple one, a blue one. This is kind of a cloudy corner. This might be our white corner. So I'm going to just turn this. And you can, on your paintings, decide if you want to modify them, change them. It's really up to you. I do really like the way it looks. But let's just do a little tilting and see what happens. I don't want to stretch out these cells too much, though. So I'm just going to go easy, kind of keep my eye moving around the canvas. Okay, now I'm going to turn it back. So I'm going to just take a look at that. I'm liking what's happening. It was nice before. It's not exactly a white corner. I could continue tilting over in that direction, but I'm afraid of stretching out all of the other cells. So it's kind of a balancing act of knowing when to stop, how much to tilt, when to stop. I'm gonna just do some subtle movement. And I think I am gonna call that one good. I think I'm gonna stop there. So I didn't get this center of interest completely out of the center. It's still pretty centralized, but in order to kind of shift that, I'd be losing a lot of stuff. So, oops, and I just have a big old drop right on the painting. Well, shoot. So, that's why you got to be careful. waving your hands full of paint over your painting. But I think I can fix that. I need a straw. Let me get my straw. And when that happens, you can sometimes fix it by erasing your paint. So take a straw, and then I'm going to kind of be sucking on the straw and lifting up this paint. And then I just blow it out on my paper. And I got the bulk of it. And you kind of, if you have a skewer, just delicately kind of lift that last little bit out. Kind of a delicate process. But just like that, we have kind of fixed the problem. So keep that in mind. If you get a little drop of paint, you can carefully suck that up with a straw. Just don't drink it. Blow it out before it hits your mouth, and you'll be good. And there we go. I think I am pretty happy with that one. It turned out much better than the last cloud pour. You have some beautiful clouds. And I love the gold, the way the gold and the white cloud mix interacted. So I have this really pretty warm side and the kind of cool side over here. So, and that's I'm surprised I haven't tried to do this color scheme before. And I love it. So I should do it more often. So there we go. And just in case, I'll just zoom in here and you can give it a little closer look. So here's that blue corner, and then our beautiful clouds, and those will kind of continue to develop for the next maybe 10 to 15 minutes. And here's our purple corner, and I love this transition up from the purple into the gold in that white center. And we completely erased our little boo-boo, so I am super happy about that. Okay, so let me flip back here. Any questions you might have, throw that in you can throw them in the comments. I will be happy to answer them for you. So fairly quick demo today. These go pretty quick once you have everything prepared. But any questions? I'm going to check and see if I missed anything. Yeah, let's see here. Cool, no questions yet down at the bottom here. And Lynn is asking, what was the black base coat? It was just 2 parts Floetrol, 1 part black paint, black Artist Loft, Flow, or, you know, what is it called? I'll show you. This one, the Flow Acrylic, I guess. So it's not a pre-mixed fluid paint, but it's kind of a soft body from Artist Loft. That's what was in there. And then same consistency as all the other paints. I do have to add a little bit of water to that black Flow Acrylic to get it to that number 2 consistency. But yeah, just it's just something I had pre-mixed, so nothing special about it. You could use any color you want. You could use white. You could use anything. And there you go. Okay. Well, I'm pretty happy. It's always nice when they turn out well, and you're happy with them. This one turned out really nice. I'm really pleased with it. So that's always awesome. And all right. So no other questions. Well, I think, let's see. I'm just looking for questions. Nope, no questions. Okay, guys. Well, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Give a cloud pour a try if you wanted to. It's a very easy formula to mix up. Again, it's the BEHR Satin Enamel Ultra White, or Pure White. Ultra Pure White is what it is. 1 part of that, 1 part of the Craftsmart White. 2 parts Floetrol, and you're good to go. No water. And then mix all your other colors to that consistency. Pretty easy, pretty simple. So give it a shot and let me know what you think. And I will talk to you next week. So have a great weekend. And if you're going to watch the Super Bowl, have fun. And I will talk to you again soon. Thanks so much for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.